Hey, welcome to the History of Life Lab. Today we're going to show you how to do a coal ball peel. So first of all, I have in my hands two different coal balls. You can actually see on this one, if I sort of hold it up, that it's actually coal. Okay, so this is compressed organic material from the Carboniferous period of history. You can also see that these coal balls have a flat side. And this is where we're going to see the organic fossil matter. Of course, it's no longer organic. It's been permineralized, replaced with rock. But we're going to make a peel so that we can see the cellular ultrastructure of some of these ancient plant fossils. Okay, so here we go. Let's just select one of these. I'm going to do this one because it has a bigger surface area. So I'll put this coal ball down. And we want to pick this side that's flat already, that has a nice surface to etch. Okay, so we're going to start by grinding. And to do that, we're going to use some carbon powder. So I'm going to scoop some of this out. This is carborundum. It's very fine carbon powder. And I'm going to put just a spoonful right here on this glass plate. That should be plenty. And now I'm going to add some water to make a nice slurry. So this is just regular tap water. Okay, and I'll just try to mix it a bit with my glove. I can also sort of do that with the coal ball. All right, maybe just a little bit more water. Okay, so I've got a nice slurry here. And this is going to grind the coal ball surface so that it is incredibly flat and ready to etch in the step where we use the hydrochloric acid. All right, so let me just wipe my glove off, pick up this coal ball, and now I want to grind it to be perfectly flat and smooth. So I'm just going to place this right in the grit and grind it back and forth using a nice figure 8 motion. I'm going to go backwards a little bit here. You don't want to do it in a circle because that is going to grind it unevenly so that you'll have some parts of the surface that aren't completely flat. Okay, so now this is pretty well ground and I'm going to just rinse it off right in the sink. This is fine with tap water, and now our surface is ready for etching.
All right, so our second step here is to actually create an edge of the polished part of the rock. So what we're going to be using is a diluted 5% of the HCl. Okay, so it's going to be here. We always are going to be using this part under the hood. So the polished part should be submerged here for 15 seconds. So we're going to make sure that this will separate, you know, the edge from the rest of the rock, and you don't destroy the soil wall, which is going to be preserved here at the moment I'm counting. So we're going to be a few more seconds. All right. That should be enough, and the next part is to rinse this with water. So you can see we're already moving this to the water container here. Leave it for a few seconds. All right, and then we're gonna put this polished part upside up in the gravel. We're gonna rinse this with acetone just to dry this quicker. Okay, and then we're gonna wait 30 minutes under the hood here. Okay, and we're gonna come back to do the next part. All right, so we're gonna continue now with our third part of this lab. So what we're gonna be doing now that we have let this dry for 30 minutes, is to actually apply again acetone. So that's what we're doing here. Again, we're doing this, all of it under the hood. So there you go. And our next step is to roll this acetate paper, which is gonna actually have the imprinting here of the peel. And you need to make sure that you do it slow and careful because you don't want to create any bubbles. Okay? So you're gonna start seeing and let it roll. All right, so you can see we just rolled the acetate paper and then there is no bubbles on it. You don't want to tap anything in here with your hands because you're going to destroy all the cell material here. We're going to let it dry. Well, it's already dry, but like just to stay there for 15 minutes, and then we come back and slowly remove this acetate paper, and then we're going to show you the result. Thank you. No.
Okay, so we have let our acetate paper sit on the coal ball with acetone in between for just over 15 minutes now. And now we're probably ready to take it off, okay? So the way we want to approach this is really carefully. We want to do it slowly so that we don't rip the acetate and so that we get a nice transfer of that fossil material onto the acetate paper. So a good thing to do before you start rolling is just to sort of check, like maybe in a corner here. So I'm just peeling one corner, and it looks like we're gonna get a pretty good peel here. So I'm gonna just continue to very slowly peel this off. All right, and now we can touch the surface of this part that's already been peeled because the cellular ultrastructure should already have been transferred. Okay, and it's really important to just take your time with this step because once again, if you peel too fast, then not all of the peel will make the transfer onto the acetate. Okay, now we're doing pretty well here. And it looks like we're actually getting a very nice coal ball peel. Okay, I can definitely see some plant structures just with my eye. Okay, and then I'm gonna just really slowly finish it off. Okay, so
Wow.
Here's our completed peel and we're ready to take it to the microscope and take a look. Okay, so now we have our coal ball peel and we're ready to take a look under the microscope. I put it just on the back of the lab report so we have a nice white background, and now I'm going to put it underneath this stereo or dissecting microscope. We're going to use the stereo microscope because these structures are going to be a little bit too large to see well under the compound microscope, although you could look at it under the compound as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on our light source and then look through the microscope and focus in on the region we want to see.
All right, so now we're gonna see the result of our coal peel. So you can see it's here under the dissective or stereo microscope. So right now, this is what we are observing, and this is just a small part of what we're observing here. All right, so we just took a quick picture. All right, and then just to give you a little background, so with the coal peel, you may not know what species, even genera of organism we're looking here. However, we can know that this comes from plants because this is plant tissue made of cell wall mostly, and that obviously will classify this, as the plant kingdom. So we can actually see structures in here. So I'm gonna guide you through some of these. If you see these cells here, this is a combination of phloem and mesophyll cells. So mesophyll cells are full of chloroplasts. You won't see those here, but that's where photosynthesis happens, and that's where sugars are going to be produced. And then the phloem is next to it because that will transport the nutrients or sugar made throughout the entire plant. Now in the middle here, there is like an empty space here with few cells. There's another one here. That's actually the xylem, which is responsible of moving water across the entire plant. So you can see by this fossil here comes from plant, really preserved, really good image, and that basically you can determine like, yep, this is a plant for sure. All right, thank you.